Hey folks, it's me, the Real World Prepper. You can call me RWP. And hope you guys are doing well today. I wanted to speak a little bit today about some of what my colleagues, if you will, co-creators on this platform have been speaking about. That is hope, hopelessness, preparedness, and actually trying to help show ways in which we can prepare and be better and better ourselves. Now, first let me say, if you've given up all hope, then just do what I've done and find you a beach somewhere, plant yourself, and live out the remainder of your days as a beach bum. And when the world collapses, you're at least looking at a beach. No, seriously, I'm kidding, I'm joking. I am, however, sitting in a place that many of you who have been on the channel long enough have probably seen me at this place before. It's a place I haven't been to in quite some time, but that we try and come to as a family annually. This year's trip has been a little different. I'll just briefly say that me and Mrs. RWP are doing this in shifts this year because of our little homestead and all of the responsibilities there. We couldn't come up with a good way, quick enough anyway, really at all at this point, for us both to do it. So I've got little RWP with me. I have extended family here as well. They stay here on this beach every year for many weeks, and we usually come down and join them for about a week. And anyway, this year, me and little RWP came down, and when I return in a few days, Mrs. RWP will come down, and she'll stay a few days and then come back with little RWP. Anyway, so I agree with Guns Coast to Coast about the importance of hope and integrated preparedness. By the way, he spoke well on this too, about the importance of hope, and how hope can be your ally, and it can also be weaponized against you. It can also be weaponized, frankly, for you, for you and your mag or your group or your community or whatever. The bottom line about it for me is, and I know this is going to turn a lot of people off, and I'm going to get comments, and because I already have in other videos where I mention God. I'm a believer, and most of you guys know that. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Am I flawed? For sure. But I'm a believer, and my hope lies in Christ. Now, does that mean that I think that, Christ is going to rapture us all before the bad stuff comes and all that? Well, I'm not getting into that discussion. Frankly, I don't know, okay? I don't have a fully formed opinion on pre or post or all that stuff about tribulation and everything. And frankly, it's not important to me. And the reason I say that is because when God began to tell me to prep and to put up my stores and to get ready for things, which he did, by the way, a decade ago, he didn't say, because specifically, you're going to live in this time, but then all of a sudden at this date, this is going to happen, and so you only have to plan so far ahead. He didn't do that. He said, put up your stores, to provide for you and your family, your community, when times get tough, when times are lean, because they are going to be. Now, I didn't know for a long time what that means. Frankly, I still don't exactly know what that means. I guess I won't until I'm actually in it and living it. And I will say that I feel like where we are today is close to that point. And I know many generations before me, centuries even before me, man would interpret God's word and say, oh, we're in it. We're in the last days. We're living it. And so, in that regard, you can take all of it with a grain of salt. Bottom line is, I'm doing what God, as best as I can, I'm doing what God has, I believe, mandated me to do. That's the only mandates I'm going to follow. So, he designed me to be, my Creator God designed me to be an optimist. It's just what he did. That's who I am, okay? Do I get down? Do I get depressed? Do I sometimes falter on my hopefulness? Lose a little hope? Sure. but it's fleeting when those things happen, because ultimately I have hope, and like I say, I'm an optimist, so I look at the good in things, and I always look at the glass as half full, you know. So what we need to be doing, I think, is first praying and just being in prayer and in contemplation and reading our Bibles, and you know, for His direction in that regard. I also think that we should be doing all of the practical things. I've heard a lot of guys talk about training, and like not just sitting at a table shooting at paper targets, which is what I do a lot of out at my place, because I don't, you know, while I can shoot at my place, I don't, at Area 53, I can't train tactically and that kind of stuff. But, you know, so train, get some skills. Steve Smith talked about, you know, if you're in a position age-wise or career-wise or whatever, to get involved with like law enforcement, if nothing more, but for the training, do that. Zombie Farmer has been doing that. Steve talked about that. I agree with all of these things. You can go take classes from people who know stuff. I personally have not done this yet. This is something that's on my, I don't want to call it my bucket list, but it's on my prep list, okay? But as I've said 1,000 times before, I'm the real world prepper, so in the real world, I've got everything to contend with in real life, all of my normal duties and responsibilities as a family man, as a career man, and everything in between. Finding the time and the resources is, you know, there it is. So that's on me. But so that's one thing. Yes, obviously stacking equipment and supplies and food and things. Look, it doesn't guarantee us any particular outcome to do that. You know, you can't just pack a closet full of canned goods, pack another closet, you know, with a few boxes of bullets and a rifle, you know, maybe a handgun, get you 14 cases of water, and a set of night vision, you know, and say, all right, you know, and clap your hands together and say, all right, we're ready, because you're not. We don't even know what we're ready for or trying to ready ourselves for. But I will just offer, along with those same voices I've mentioned, and I've mentioned them many times before, and I do because these are the guys that I confer with, that I listen to. There's another one that I'm afraid I don't mention enough, and I watch him pretty regularly. I don't comment. I've actually not commented a lot on many videos lately, just because I watch them and I just don't have a lot of time, okay? But Steve at Corsair Trainers, he actually shows real examples of how to do things, how to learn certain skills, you know, run exercises, scenarios. Excellent channel, excellent source of information. I was watching his Monday morning live stream today. Well, I don't know when this video will post, but today's Monday when I'm recording. But I watched his Monday morning. I actually got to get on it, which I normally am at work and I don't get to, but I actually got to get on it and comment a little bit. And he kind of made a joking comment. Maybe it was joking, maybe it was a little bit real, but he's like, you know, like videos I put out that actually show useful tips versus talking about, you know, you got to get ready, but then never saying what getting ready is, you know. So go watch Steve at Corsair Trainers. Go watch Steve Smith at Integrated Preparedness. Guns Coast to Coast, I think, is an excellent source as well of just good information and a good thought process on different things. Zombie Farmer, he's walking the walk, baby. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. So these are my friends, okay? I consider these people my friends, and I take them seriously, and I find what they have to say and offer important. So I'm just going to parrot and mirror kind of what they are saying and what they're talking about, in that in our preparedness, in our readiness, these are the things. You actually have to, you actually have to learn a skill, learn a second skill, you know, maybe get a side hustle, you know, maybe not spend money on frivolous crap if you want something else that's for your preps that is an expensive item, i.e. say night vision or something like that. Actually put food on your shelves, and lots of it. Rotate it, know what you have. Grow food if you can, raise animals if you can. Make community with those around you as best as you can. All of these things, and I've said them, I'm beating a drum here that's been being beat for 2 years on this channel from me, but has been beat in my life. Been beating this drum for a decade now. So it's, you know, on the one hand, it is as simple as that. On the other hand, I get that the nuances, well, they're specific to you. They're specific to me. They're whatever our given circumstances are, you know. But remain hopeful, you know, and don't give in. This is what the plan that's working against us is meant to rob us of hope, is meant to dehumanize us, demoralize us, and make us want to give up. Never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. You know, we shall fight in the fields and on the landing grounds, and we shall never surrender, as Winston Churchill put it. So anyway, and I may have paraphrased that a little bit. I was trying to recall the whole ending of that speech, but that's it. Here I am posting from an undisclosed area that I was fortunate to get to come spend a couple days at, and I kind of needed it. Little R&R. That's another thing too. That's an important prep too. Take a rest. Take a break. Take a breather. You know, don't let your guard down, but just let your soul breathe. Okay. So with that, that's all I got. I'm the Real World Prepper. We'll see you later.